What is up, guys? Welcome to a quick little vlog-esque type thing, and I had a couple things on my mind today that I figured this kind of video would warrant. So, obviously, I'm downloading BioShock Infinite. This is actually the season pass that's downloading right now, and I wanted to talk about DLC, pre-orders, and also early access games. So, I'll start off with DayZ. It's an early access game that is in alpha right now, but it is the most upfront and clear. Like, when I hit purchase this game for myself, I clearly understood that this game was not finished, that my money was going to help support the alpha and help support the developers through the development process. I played DayZ mod. I know how good it can be. Obviously, there's bugs and things that everybody knows what DayZ is when they're getting into it. They know that it has flaws. I supported DayZ because I think it's an awesome mod, and I think being a standalone game is something that's in the right direction, and it's, oh man, not being able to mod games anymore, these developers that are releasing games that don't have mod tools or anything like that anymore, it's just a clear picture of what their overall business plan is. I mean, COD 4, people are still playing that. I bet it's more populated than Call of Duty Ghost right now on PC at least. And that's purely because they have mod tools and things like that. And the game, I mean, albeit it is a good game, I still love Pro Mod to this day, but being able to put in zombies and all kinds of crazy stuff and things like Pro Mod, I mean, that was what PC gaming was, you know, back in the day. I mean, back in the day in internet terms, like 5 years ago, 7 years ago is back in the day, but it's so clear that the developers have, or not really even the developers, it's more the publishers, I should say, that like EA and Activision that are pushing these developers to put out unfinished games like Battlefield 4. I'll be the first to admit it, I pre-ordered Battlefield 4 almost a month before it came out, and that was purely because of the hype. I played the beta, and I had mixed feelings about the beta, and when I pre-ordered it, I had a good idea of what I was getting into, and honestly, the beta was more of a way to publicize the game than it was any sort of testing or anything like that. Sure, the developers got some feedback, but let's look at the final release. Nothing was fixed from the beta to the full release. Nothing big, at least. I mean, it's still kind of wild to me that we are in control of this, and we're letting them get away with stuff like this. And EA, our DICE has come out and said they could use 6 more months to work on Battlefield 4 before it was fully released, but obviously EA has timelines, they have budgets, they have a certain timeline that they're trying to fulfill, and they had to get that game out, and they knew they were going to make money regardless if it was finished or not. And these patches are becoming far too popular, in my opinion, on fixing games after they are already released. And going back to DayZ, you know, it's alpha. I know it's broken. When you buy it, it says it's not finished. When you play the game, it says it's not finished. And I have the most respect for Rocket and the guys over at the development team, because they're so upfront and open about what they're doing with the game, and asking the community, which is so huge. You know, what does it matter if the freaking developers think that making this tweak is important when the community doesn't want it? You know, it's all about what we want, and we have the power to spend our money where we want. And I'm part of the problem. Like I've said, I don't care for us throwing money at a game that's not finished. But in DayZ, they're listening to us. They're taking feedback and everything that we want as a community, which is so freaking awesome, and it's the way it should be. And just remember, DayZ is a mod. It came from people just modding a game because a developer allowed that to happen. You know, it's not like DICE or EA putting a clamp down on the game. I mean, Battlefield 4 could have so many cool mods if we were just allowed the opportunity to tweak the game a little bit, you know? I mean, they gave us some stuff with the competitive side and the spectator mode, but honestly, that's hardly anything compared to what mod tools could do and the community could do. And on to DLC. Obviously, I'm downloading the BioShock Infinite Season Pass right now, and it's so crazy to me how easily accessible some of this stuff is. I bought this code on Amazon because I had another $5 off coupon, and it cost me like $10 for the Season Pass. And while I will admit that it's probably chopped down parts of the original game, like the developer releases the full game and this is probably stuff they had started working on at least. I mean, before DLC was another thought, you know, they came out with a game and they're like, okay, this would be a cool expansion, where as now today the expansions are more, I mean, some games are even shipped with the DLC on them and you're paying to unlock them. That is fucking pathetic, but the thing I have about BioShock is it was a great game. I really, really enjoyed it, and I want to support the developers for what they've done. That's how I personally justify something like that, buying the DLC, even if it is kind of a rehash of the original game and everything, but I want to support those guys, and I got it on sale, and that's the beauty of being a PC gamer. I'm not paying full retail at somewhere like GameStop or even buying used. I think normal Xbox games are still like $45 used. Even if the game's just opened and then put back on the shelf, it's still $45 compared to like $60, where if you look at my Steam library, I honestly don't know of a single game that I paid full-blown retail for, except for like DayZ, which will probably go up in price in the future. And I think Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was the only other one that I paid $60 for, and yeah, shoot me for that one, but I still enjoyed the game, though. I mean, I don't regret buying the game. I just wouldn't necessarily support the Activision and stuff like that. But I think that's enough of a rant from me. I just wanted to get out my thoughts on the whole DLC, early access, and what we as a community can do and kind of demand that publishers start putting out a full-blown game anymore. And thank you guys for watching the video. Leave your comments below on what you think about early access and DLC and pre-ordering games. I mean, I think the power is in our hands. I think we need to stop pre-ordering and stop giving money to games that aren't done and that we personally don't have any impact in. Obviously, like I said before, DayZ is something that the developers are taking direct feedback from us. That's something that's exciting. That's something I want to be a part of. That's worth my money. But games like Battlefield 4, where pretty much anything goes, I think that's the kind of game that we need to stop supporting, especially when it comes to pre-orders and stuff like that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video, and I'll talk to you later.